Fired up. All right, you guys, welcome, welcome. You know how excited I get when I get to mute everybody out because it's like I have all the power in the world and it excites me. And I'm not even kidding. Okay, I'm kidding a little bit. Anyway, welcome, welcome to I Best You Team Express. We have our pro Zoom every Monday night where you get to learn how to do business even better than maybe you're already doing it, having an aha moment. And tonight is going to be no different. Tonight we have a guest speaker, guest trainer, guest rock star. I am one of her biggest fans and so thrilled to learn from her tonight. And we are going to jump right in 2 seconds. We're going to kind of do it interview style, but I want her to mostly talk, not me. And I want to just let you guys know that this rock star is going to be one of our key speakers at our Super Saturday, Build It Big, November 9th in LA, California. Sorry for all you that don't live here, but you can fly here and join us. We would love it. But I want to introduce the speaker, the woman of the next 30 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever. I have her little bio pulled up right in front of me, but I think I mostly memorized it. Before Isogenics, about 2 years ago, she was a college student and working multiple jobs. She got introduced to Isogenics, and she moved from Montana to California. She just like went, I'm in, and never looked back. I'm pretty sure she moved straight to San Diego. That's where I was born. That's where I would move from Montana to. And, you know, right away, wait, hang on 2 seconds, because this is really important. She is a 3-star Golden Circle. She went right in to Isogenics and she built 10 consultants just like that, went executive just like that, and kept going. And this boggles my mind. In 2 years, she's a 3-star Golden Circle. She's number one global income earner in the under 25 in the start group. So I'm pretty sure you should have your pens and paper out because she's going to drop some wisdom bombs that are going to blow your mind. And she's just getting started. So please welcome to our tonight's training, Sydney Lich. Woo! Yeah, let me unmute you, girl. There you are.
Am I good? Hi, everyone. Can you guys hear me? I don't know. I've never used these before, but we've got some outside noise happening. I needed to focus in on all of you. So I'm so excited to see all of your shining faces. It's amazing to be on this call. Thank you so much, Jeff and Debbie, for asking me to be on. I was so excited. And I'm so excited for our Super Saturday, Build It Big. It's going to be amazing in November.
It is. And Build It Big, if you guys don't know, our Super Saturday that we're putting together is with Sydney, with Zach and Eden Slobin and Emily Vavra, and we have a couple surprises coming along the way. And we named it Build It Big because it's going to be the absolute, you guys know I always say this, punch in the face business training. It's strict, staunch, hardcore, getting punched in the face business. No opportunity, business.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Amazing. All right, let's jump right in, okay, Sydney? I jotted a few questions down because we talked about maybe we'll go a little interview style, and then anything else you want to talk about that you deem very important, I want you to throw it out there because this is all about you right now. We want to learn from you. But you went to executive very quickly. How quick did you do that?
Yeah, so it's actually funny. I didn't get to executive very quickly. Once I decided to go executive, I went very quickly. However, I waited, I think I was eight or 9 months into my build and I hadn't even gone manager. I was just enrolling people. I was a sponsor monster. I wasn't duplicating our systems that we have. I wasn't using the tools. I was just making up my own way. And I realized very quickly I became a glorified salesperson. So sat down with Zach and Eden. They were basically, knocked me around a little bit. What are you doing? Like, follow the system. It's not that hard. And I swallowed my pride and decided to use our system. And I decided I was in Grace as a consultant at the time, and there was a lot of bonuses. There was a crystal reset. There were all these, trips I could win. And so I essentially decided to lock myself in a room in my house. And in 10 days went from in Grace as a consultant to executive. So the lead up and the work that I did over the 9 or 8 months prior to was really how I was able to go so fast, because it really wasn't all that fast. A lot of people just don't see those first 8 or 9 months. They just see that 10-day span that I ran for executive.
Okay, so yeah, right. I get that. So I was in Isogenics for a year before I decided to do business. And then for the first 6 months of my year that I started, I decided, like you, and maybe there's some people on here same way, I wasn't listening to anybody. I got this. I'm going to do it. I know better than you, and probably glorified salesman too. So for the first 6 months, I was reinventing the wheel. So Zach and Eden sat you down and did one of those, right? I love that. And boy, that means you're so coachable, and that's what you're going to be attracting into your tribe moving forward, right? So I'm going to skip a couple questions because Jeff Beebe had this question about how you duplicate, because Zach and Eden, I know, have a system in play that duplicates. Our team kind of models after them, because when I got in, they were just starting their build. So we kind of model after them, which is modeled after Isogenics, business.com. Like there's nothing different. It's just each team adapts it. So how did you take that, and how do you duplicate? How do you do that enrolling process and build consultants?
Mm-hmm. One of the most important things is to have a conversation about sharing or about business the first time you talk to people. I'm a very lead, top down with the opportunity type of person. And so I default to the products. If someone's like, hey, no, like I just want to lose some weight, I'll talk to them about those goals. However, they always know that's on the table. So by the time they enroll, it's almost an expectation of, okay, it doesn't even matter if you're just using products. Who are your 2 people? Who are a few people you know that would want to do this with you for sure? The question I always ask, that's the golden ticket question. And then they tell me those people. I teach them how to get on the phone with that person, what to say, right? We plug them into the system, and then they use our templates, which obviously you guys are, you have yours that you use that are modeled after the slogans, like you said. So we use, the text a few template, or we're just shooting out a few messages, and then we help them get their first 2 wins. And I tell people when I'm on the phone with them in the first conversation, as I'm enrolling them, people are going to notice a difference. People are going to see a difference in you. Who do you want as accountability partners with you? Who do you want to do this with? And every single person I get enrolled, I help them get their products paid for.
That's amazing.
And it's just an expectation.
I love that. So it's posture, because when you have that expectation, then that's what you're going to get, and then that's what they're going to get. And I know that slogans, and I know you also, because we had a big conversation wrapped around, we mostly do ultimate pack value packs, right? And you always lead with value pack. Yes. So you teach your people the value of the value pack, and then you help them do the same.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay. So have you ever had anybody ask you, I just went off the cuff, I have questions, but
you're good.
Have you ever had anybody say back to you, I don't really know anybody. I don't.
Yes.
Okay. And what would you say back to that?
100%. Depending on the person, I ask everyone, because it's always the people you think are not going to do it that'll do it. And so you just got to ask everyone and at least give them a chance to answer. And if they say, I don't know anyone, I either give them, a little bit of an answer like, you don't know anybody who eats? Like you don't have anybody in your life who eats food? And they'll be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I totally do. And then they'll tell me a couple names, or I just say, yeah, no worries. Like, that's okay. No, no worries. Once you use this for 30 days, I know you're going to want to share it with a couple people in your life, because you're not going to want to stop talking about it. That's okay. If you don't feel comfortable sharing it with people right now, no worries. Those people can just be product users. Like if they really aren't in a space right now where they know anyone, we know that they know people, and just sometimes you just got to meet people where they're at. I really believe that. And so many times that I've done that, I always just check back in on them. I'm like, hey, do you want to get your products paid for? Every 30 days, every 60 days, every 90 days, I just check in on them and give them a touch and see how their results are going for themselves. And so many of those people transition into consultants and end up coming around 8 months later it's just always constantly loving on those people and encouraging them to share their results with the people in their life.
That's awesome. Okay, so now going off the cuff again, because you brought it up, and I know that this could be a whole hour training, what I'm going to ask you next. But you, feel free to condense it. Because I feel like everybody's raging question is, after you get someone started, whether they turn consultant or not, after you get somebody started, what is your follow-up system? How many times do you touch on them before you just go, you're on your own? You know what I mean? What is your follow-up system to hold that retention?
It's transitioned a lot because in the beginning I was not good at this at all, and no one stayed around. Like I didn't understand that like customer retention was important, and it's one of the most important things, right? And so once I bring someone in, immersing them in the Facebook pages and in the community and in the culture is like within the first hour, I add them in. Like it's so important. And on that call, as I enroll them, if it's a business builder, I plan the launch call within 12 to 24 hours every time. Because the first 12 to 24 hours, again, is the most important part. Getting them started, getting them paid as fast as possible, that keeps them in. If you guys can get people paid fast, it will help retention massively, right? Get them in the IsaBody challenge right away. Like go on with them, take the 5 minutes now, and it'll increase retention a ton to get them in the IsaBody challenge. You have to walk them through it. You have to like remind them, right? And sometimes it takes me 7 or 8 times to remind people to get in the IsaBody challenge. But then there's people like Alvi, who his life has changed because of the IsaBody challenge. So then you remember Alvi's story and you get everybody in the IsaBody challenge, right? And then from there, the first 7 days, I'm really checking in on them, making sure they're going, taking the products correctly. And then I check in on them daily. How's your cleanse day going? How's your shake day going? How are you have you tried these other recipes for the shakes? Checking in on them, coaching them through the products. And then at day 14, again, I have another touch on them. And sometimes they don't respond. I think people get freaked out if someone doesn't respond. Sometimes I won't have someone respond to 7 of my messages in a row once they start. And then on day 8, they're like, oh my God, I've lost 10 pounds. I feel so amazing. I have 6 people that want to get started, right? So you just got to keep loving on them and pouring love into them, even if they don't respond right away. And then from there, after 30 days, we go walk them through their auto ship, make some suggestions of where they're at in their goals, help, again, walk them through, take that 5 minutes, day 1 or day 30 to really, really support them so that their retention, their customer experience is like, going to Tiffany's. It's like the highest quality customer service where they're like, oh my gosh, she walked me through my back office and taught me what to get and told me that I need to try these amped products, right? And then they know how to do it, and then they can really be on their own. You check in on them every couple months. I have reminders in my phone for people, and really just loving on people, checking in on them, not based on isogenics, just on their life sometimes. It's the most important way to build those relationships, and then continue to come back to them with that opportunity of like, hey, you've been active for 8 months. Like there's probably some people noticing your results, right? You're telling me about all these results you have, like what's going on. So it's, just continuing to build a relationship with them.
That's awesome. Okay. So I think I know the answer to this because you kind of said it. A lot of people, including myself, I flip in and out of how I keep track of who to follow up on. And sometimes, honestly, people slip through the cracks. And Jeff and I, like 3 months, like this person got enrolled 3 months ago. Who is that? Did you enroll them? Did I enroll them? I don't even know who that is. But that happens to us, and that's horrible.
Totally.
I hate to admit it, but I want to. Because what is it that you use? Is it just the reminders in your phone? What reminds you? Do you write it in your calendar when you enroll them? Like the next couple times you're going to follow? How do you do that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I have a prospect list, and it works different for everyone. Everyone's different. I'm a computer girl. I like being able to have it digitally wherever I am in the world. If I'm traveling, then I have my list with me all the time. So when I enroll someone, they go onto a new list. And they go onto the list where I mark off once they've joined the Facebook groups, once they've joined the product coaching group, and then I have once they've joined the IsaBody challenge, I have their auto ship date, I have their login information, and then I have the last date that I've checked in on them. And then I know each day I also set the next prospective date that I want to follow up with them. So if it's someone who's gone through 30 days, I'll say, okay, 15, 20 more days, I'm just going to check in on them and touch on them. And I'll set that date, and then I organize it by the date. And so it just auto populates in the morning. I go in, it's organized. I just know exactly who to reach out to in the morning based on the day. And then we go from there. It's pretty simple.
Would you send that to all of us?
Yeah, I can for sure. I'll share the document with all of you. It's really simple. It's really simple, but it helps. It really, really does.
Yeah. I have done it all different ways, and unfortunately there is that once in a while somebody falls through the cracks.
Yep.
So that people are always looking for that way, but like you said, we all have our own different personalities. So how each of us gets organized in our business is going to look different to somebody else. Okay,
exactly.
Perfect. These are so good. Okay, so I'm going to jump into, I know that Mark Greer has this question, but I think this is going to get answered in this, because he says, are your conversations at the beginning text or call as a younger generation? But before you answer that part of it, you and I had talked about intention. Intention. Going in, you join groups, and you correct anything that I'm going to spit out right now and then take it away. But you go and you join groups with the intention that everybody that you befriend is going to be in your business, either a product user or a business partner, right? So you go in with that intention, but being that we are a global company, so I'm going to have a couple questions all mixed in here. Being that we are a global company, what I know about you, you are like Jay Bennett, and you like to do belly to belly.
I know.
And being that we're global, that not everybody can do that. And I know that a lot of the top leaders that are building globally will tell any leader, up and coming leader right now, build it in the country you're in strong before you go and try to build it big in another country. I know that.
Yep.
However, we're global, and so that happens. We can't go I can't just run over to Belgium right now and meet with our business builders there, right? So belly to belly for that isn't always going to work. And the other thing, if somebody's working a 9 to 5, a 60-hour week, they might not have that leisure to join a group, go have some coffee with somebody on any given day, stack their, I know Kayla, I'm looking at Kayla's face too, because Kayla's a belly to belly girl. I love people, but I cannot run around meeting people belly to belly. So being the younger generation, like Mark said, address all of that I just threw out there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. So if I miss any of those points, just bring me back. So with belly to belly, I love it. It's so much, for me, it's so much more fun. It feels so much better to build those relationships. And I do it a lot of different ways. Today I had all calls and I had a couple meetings, and some days I have only calls and some days I have only belly to belly meetings. So I'm building a lot of different ways. So if for you, that's the thing, this business is so amazing because whatever works for you, you just go after that and do that the best that you can. And so for me, my intention right now is to build a local San Diego team and a San Diego market. And I don't know anyone in other countries right now, but I know that someone I meet in San Diego is going to have a friend who has a friend who lives in Florida, who has a friend that lives in Europe, who has a friend that lives in Belgium, right? And it's just going to grow global, build local, grow global. And so for me, because I want a culture and a community, because I know that's what keeps people in, that's where my focus is personally. And because of that, I know it'll start to spread to different places. And then I can address, going to those different markets and working with those people and doing Zooms with those people. That's like, you don't need to go to those countries. That's why we have the luxury of Zoom and an online business for when we need it. And if someone's local, I'm never going to do them a disservice of not meeting them belly to belly, because I know it's going to be so much more effective. And even if it's a 20-minute coffee meeting, you don't have to sit with them for an hour and a half or 2 hours and become best friends with them. You connect with them. You see if you want them in your business. You talk to them, learn about where they might need isogenics in their life. They're going to ask you what you do, and you fill in isogenics. And you just you can build a relationship pretty quickly with people. Like you said, Debbie, joining Facebook groups and stuff, my intention behind joining those groups, yes, I do a lot of calls from those groups, Instagram, Facebook, And my intention is to find them and say, oh my gosh, I see you live in San Diego. I'd love to grab coffee with you. I love connecting with people locally. And then I get in front of them, and it's the people I'm friends with are in Isogenics. So I know Debbie, we talked about like, is your intention to, go into those groups enrolling people? And it really is, because all the people in my life are going to be in Isogenics eventually. If you're my friend, you're probably going to be in Isogenics because I want it for you, because you're going to feel amazing. It's just like part of my life. And so, yes, I do go in with the intention that they're eventually going to enroll. And that's just, and I'm also friends with them. It can be a both and.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I love it.
Did I answer all those little?
Yeah, you did. I had an aha while you were talking about building locally, and then somebody's going to know somebody that knows somebody. But while you're building very strong locally, that's going to duplicate, so you don't have to worry when it goes global, where you're not, physically at.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, because now they're going to do what you just did.
Yeah.
They're going to do what they were just taught, and that's a beautiful thing. That duplicates.
It's huge. And every really, successful person in Isogenics, that's a lot of their advice is like, we built a really strong local market. We built a really strong local market in our area, and from there it's spread. They didn't know all these people in Korea. They didn't know all these people in Australia or in Europe or in Canada or Mexico or wherever. And it's because they built that local market, and then those people knew people who knew people who knew people. So
yeah, Jake.
I got a question real quick.
Okay.
What's up, girl?
Jeff.
Hey.
So Jake Bennett gave us that advice. We
Mm-hmm.
met with him when we just opened the UK. Just opened the UK. Jay Bennett was heading over because he already had a team started.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, oh my gosh, we want to just get on a flight and go to the UK with you, go to that meeting with you, and we want to go meet people and start bringing them into Isogenics. He said, no, you build it strong here.
Yeah.
As you start getting people there, then you go over there, but don't take your time and your money yet.
Yep.
Wait till you start building it bigger. So he
yes,
gave us that advice, and you're right. A lot of people build it local. Okay, Jeff Beatty, you're on.
Okay, perfect. I got a question that you can answer, and I know how we do it. We basically turn everybody associate immediately, and it's part of the enrolling process.
Mm-hmm.
Product user and or business builder. It's just it's either called gifts, extra gifts, hold up the volume for you if you're a prospect. I mean, if you're a product user, and business wording if you're doing business with it. How do you convert them, and or do you right away on the enrolling process so they don't lose their volume?
Yeah. I definitely don't have the right answer, because I don't think that there is a right way to do it. I, up until this point, have waited until they have their first enrollment ready to go. And I also see the value of urgency and allowing them to have that gift of the volume. And so depending on the person, if it's someone I want to run to executive really quickly, it's like, okay, yep, let's get your first 2 people in the pipeline. Let's go, whatever. But I don't have like a correct answer that I want to just share with all of you guys, because I'm not the expert in that area, to be honest. I don't know. I haven't been around long enough to know the payoffs of doing one or the other, because I've always only really waited until they have their first enrollment.
Beautiful. And we used to do that years ago, but now, Jen, I'll just coach real quick, since you said it that way, and let the team know. Basically, even as a product user, you finished the enrolling process. So we're going to jump you back on and show you how to log in, manage your auto-ship, and do all that. And here's your IsoBody challenge photos that we submitted for you when we put your enrollment in, as you sent us these photos real quick. And also, we're going to finish your enrolling process and turn you associate. So everything you're putting in your own mouth, you'll get paid back someday. And I'm going to gift you 2 extra coupon codes for your friends that want to start. And you'll be mad at me if we don't do this, because what happens too, just for you guys on here, what happens is if you don't do this right away, in 120, 90 days, that volume goes away. If they don't turn associate. And the chances of that of you forgetting about it is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens, all of a sudden you realize you have a customer for a year and a half, 2 years, and they could have gotten $2,000 back or $800. So as a team, don't ever not turn somebody associate right away. And then it leads you into giving that business talk about, hey, there's a lot of bonuses that on speed, but no matter what, you get to store all your volume now that you're getting to put in your mouth, even as a product user forever, because eventually that stubborn husband of yours is going to get started. So there it is.
Totally. And Jeff, along with that, I really think it's so important, because if you're converting them to associate right away, it is your job to educate them on the bonuses. If you turn them associate and then you do not walk them through and show them manager, director, executive deadlines, that's you as a business owner. That is your job and your duty to show them that, because they won't know otherwise. If you never tell them, hey, if you hit, when you hit manager in 60 days, you're going to get a $250 bonus. Or when you hit director, or when you hit executive in 180 days, you're going to get a $1,000 bonus, and show that to them. They're never going to know. And they're going to be like, wait, this crystal deadline in my back office I just passed the date. What does that mean? And you're like, oh, you just lost out on $250 because I didn't take the time to show you. So that's definitely like, you got to walk them through that if you're going to convert them to associate right away.
Yeah, it's our job. And then
Mm-hmm.
some people you'll be mad at you if you didn't do that. So it's part of our enrolling process. Even as a product user, I say it's just part of it, because I'm going to get you every free thing I can give you. And two, when you do that too, guys, they put their information in there, and they have to click this little link to get the 2 free coupon codes. And what does it show them? You share, they share. And then right after that, then you can tag them in the little video that Hayden did. Who did it? No, Emily. Eden did it. And say this will go on to above and beyond that little clip you just saw, and it'll show you there's something for everybody in Isogenics.
Yeah.
So there it is.
So good.
I know you have 2 minutes left.
Yes.
How to get going. I have so many questions left for you. You built mostly on social media. I'm sure we would love to have you come back, and you could maybe teach people how you did that.
I'd love to.
So I'll let you give us your mic drop, whatever you want to share, but I want to ask you, what's your target market, Sydney?
Ooh, my target market?
Yeah.
My target market is anybody who hustles and is so, was an athlete at one point, hustles, grinds, and is so motivated to make a change in their life. I don't care if it's like a male, a female, whatever. I'm attracting a lot of blonde females right now. It's just happening. My team's gorgeous. I'm not mad about it. It's great. And it's a lot of people who are athletes. It's a lot of people who hustle, who work hard, who are working 3 different jobs, bartending at night, making ends meet. And they already have the hustle. They just need a vehicle. So that's my target market. That's who I want to work with, people want to make a change.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay, you want to give us a mic drop? Yeah, one thing.
Gosh.
If you could teach anything, or you could get people to understand, or you need to, what would your thing be?
This is your team right now you're talking to, so knock this out of the park.
Don't mess it up, right?
Yeah, you can't mess anything.
My mic drop, not really a mic drop. I would just really love for every single person to understand that I've done nothing special, and no one that's, a millionaire in the company, or a 6-figure earner, or multiple 7-figure earner a year, they're doing nothing special. They're doing the things that they're teaching you. It's the basics. It's mastering the monotonous over and over and over again. Sometimes it's not fun, but if you ever think for a second, oh, that person's there because, or, oh, they had this advantage or whatever, it's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve your business. And just know that they're doing the things that you've been taught to do. They're just doing it more. They've just been doing it longer. They've just failed more times than you. And this business is so, so simple. It doesn't always feel easy, but it's so simple. So just trust that Jeff and Debbie are teaching you the things that they did to get to where they are right now. And if you just follow in the steps of success, right? Success leaves footprints. As long as you follow in those steps and you continue to show up every single day and you just never give up and you continue to grow yourself, you can achieve anything. I'm a 24-year-old girl from Montana who has no professional experience, who can thrive in something like this because I work really hard, I'm very coachable, and I love helping people. Is that good?
That good. It was incredible. I adore you. Oh my gosh. I know that you have to go. You have another call. Like, she's in demand. Like, people want to hear from her.
I know. It's great, right?
It is amazing. Amazing. So I do want to unmute so everybody can give you a thank you or an applaud or whatever. And then after that, anybody that wants to stay on, I do have a couple things to say, but I'm only going to be maybe 5 more minutes than this. So I just want everybody to know that.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sydney.
Let's do it.
Thank you, girl.
Let's do it. Yeah!
2, 3. Let's get it.
See you in the Grand Cayman, guys. Thank you, guys. Yes, of course. Anything for you.
Yay. Thank you.
Okay,
Love you
give us
guys.
our announcement, Debbie.
What?
Give us our announcements. What you're going to talk about.
Okay. Thank you, Sydney. All right. So,
Hi, Frank.
all right. All right. Okay. So, if you guys weren't on the Playing the Field with the Pros call this morning, I want to touch what I talked about this morning, and I just want to touch briefly on it. When you guys enroll people, if you're not putting all of their information in, then their upline, your upline, their upline, all the way up to Isagenix cannot get a hold of them. So if you're holding back their phone number on our IsaPulse, you know how important it is when somebody earns the vitamins, or they get their 5, cycle bonus, or they get a couple enrollments and they get double PIBs and they're brand new and they just turned consultant. It's really nice for them to hear from everybody in their upline, not just their enrolling sponsor. So if you're the enrolling sponsor, you have their number. You have their number, but everybody else doesn't. So we can't text them through IsaPulse, congratulations. And the other thing is they're not getting dripped on from Isagenix or anybody else. And that drip system that Isagenix has is important to your business because we're moving product globally, right? We're moving product. That's what we do. We get people started with Isagenix because we've all had such great experience. But what is even better about Isagenix is our culture and our support that we have. But if you're withholding somebody's phone number, that's not good for your business. And it doesn't give them that support and love that they so deserve. And the other thing is,
Can I get on that too real quick? The big thing is too, along with what Debbie just said, but the thing for corporate not to have it, to be able to, if they're ready to hit something big and they can't get a hold of them, because we've had this happen. There's a lot of money, a couple $1,000 for somebody, and they can't get a hold of them because their number wasn't inputted in, just a email, and they're not answering their email. So it's real important on that.
Yeah, I don't even, I'm forced to check my email because that's how most corporations run, is email. But the other thing, what was I going to say? Now I forget. Oh, they can opt out. So if they don't want it, they can opt out. I never ask somebody when I enroll them, hey, do you want me to opt you out of everything and not put your number in? I never would say that because that's not going to give them value. It's not going to let them know of the specials coming up. It's not going to let them know of promotions. It's not going to let them know. And then nobody else can support them because there's no number there. So if I called corporate, I can't get their number. And I've had people on our team that have enrolled people, and because they're not executive, they don't get the numbers in their back office. So if they did not keep good record of the people they enrolled, Nobody's getting those people's number. Nobody. Not their upline. Isogenics isn't going to give it to anybody because there's no number there. So be very careful that you never ever do that, because everybody has their own opt-out button. And if they start getting too much support, which I don't think that's a thing, then they can opt out. And very rarely have I had anybody that I've personally enrolled or Jeff has personally enrolled opt out. It's rare. It's rare. And sometimes there's promotions that'll come down. Well, they'll let somebody whose account expired or it terminated. Sometimes Isogenics will go ahead and give a free, where they can get free membership back, get their account back, and have their same place in their tree. And they will give certain ranks and above all that information. And if their number's not there, guess what? We can't call them. And we can hope to God they're going to check their email. And that's it. So be very careful and teach your teammates, teach the people you enroll to never not put all the information in, and always keep all the boxes checked. Don't opt out for anybody. Let them do that on their own. This is their account. So that's all I wanted to say. I just think that that's going to be really helpful in the long run. I noticed that there were a couple people further down in our organization that weren't putting people's numbers in. And I was like, oh my gosh, this person could get a 5-cycle bonus and nobody can get a hold of them. So I hope that helps. And that's all I had. I'm going to unmute.
We're going to try. You guys got to bear with us. And if it doesn't work, then one of our leaders will be stepping up. We're going to try to hold our Zoom from the Grand Caymans. These next 2 weeks, we'll be flying out on Tuesday. We're going in early, and we'll be there for 12 days or something, Debbie and I. And we're going to try to bring you with us to the Grand Caymans. And if for some reason internet's not there or something, then one of the top leaders here on this Zoom will be running it. And the Zoom will still continue to happen because we show up no matter where we're at in the world.
Yeah. I think, is Chris Harville gonna be one of those? Do we know?
Yep.
We just decide for him. Does anybody have any questions before we go ahead and go out with a big old loud Isogenics? Anybody have any questions or any ahas you want to share before?
It can be a business question, not a product question.
An aha.
I got an aha.
Aha. Go, Chris Harville.
Well, some of you probably already know, but I didn't. But the blenders, this is just a customer service issue, not an issue. It's how awesome our customer service is. But the little rubber ring in the blender sometimes comes off and gets tangled up in the propellers and all that. So I had like 3 of them because I bought 3 value packs for family members, so I didn't worry about it. But a customer of mine, it happened in her first week. And I said, well, heck, let me just try. So I called customer service to see if I could buy 10, 15 of them just to have them down here. No, we don't sell them, but hey, what was your customer's name? They pulled it up, sent her one in the mail, sent me 2 in the mail, just like that, no questions asked. So if you got a problem with that little blender part, they'll send it to you.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
It's so funny. We just enrolled a gentleman last week, and he said, hey, my blender, and I just called. And they said, no problem, free of charge, it's on its way.
Yep. We have the best
customer service.
We do. We have the best. All right. Anybody else? Aha or question, or Stephanie has a something. Hi.
Hi. 2 things. When you mentioned the opt-out options for people, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of don't play decision maker for that person, because you never know where they're at and when they're going to, if the message is going to hit them right. Sometimes we're like, oh, I'm not going to present the business pack or the value pack because I think they can only afford the 30-day system. We can't make that decision. And it's the same with the emails. We shouldn't try to make the decision for other people. Let them control what kind of information they get, because they might get something that really hits them, that triggers them into something really amazing. That's one thing. 2 things is there's hashtags for our ISABSU. We're going to use hashtags. I've been meaning to tell you guys for like 3 weeks. We have hashtags for our team. So hashtag IBU, like capital IBU, ISBSU, and then like transformations or recipes or whatever kind of tag you think. I have a little thing that I'll post in there for you guys to have like a guide so you guys can quick access. Same with Pros Call. If you're looking for recordings from Pros Calls, hashtag Pros Call. It's not going to have the IBU in the beginning. It's just going to be hashtag Pros Call if you're looking for a recording. So that's under all of your recordings in your ISBSU Facebook group.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Nice.
You're awesome. That's exciting. Thank you. Woo!
Yay!
Yay. Thanks, Gina. I just love seeing your smiley face and your beautiful sons too. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, anybody else? That's it? Really? You're all shy and quiet tonight? All right.
Let's say, Opie, what's your aha moment? Come on, Opie. Let me hear from you.
What's that?
I said, what's your aha moment? What are you going to do?
From what am I going to do differently? I'm just going to continue to share these products unapologetically, guys. I mean, that's just what you got to do. I mean, and fearless, remain fearless, and continue to train like a savage. Be a product of the product, and you know, keep inspiring people and helping others inspire others. This is all about service and having a serving heart. And we build people, and people build our business.
Nice.
That's perfect.
I love it.
that. I'm writing that one down.
I love that. You know what? I'm sure Alvy Shepherd can appreciate this. And this is a little bit of our codependency, me and Jeff. This is our, like, I don't know if it's codependency or if it's just maybe not best case scenario. Maybe it's not duplicatable. Maybe it's not right. But this is how we build our business and keep people in the game. And it is with ISA Body Challenge for sure. And because Alvy Shepherd's sitting right here, ISA Body Challenge winner 2017, 16, doesn't matter. You're still a force to be reckoned with. You're still as famous as ever. But because you're sitting there, I want everybody, I'm going to tell you a secret, what Jeff and I do when we enroll people. We have them send their pictures to us right away. We date stamp them and we put them in the contest. We don't wait around for them to do it. We don't wait for a week 1, a week 2, a week 8. And right or wrong, you guys can do whatever you want with that. But I want to share that with you because that keeps that retention. It keeps that relationship growing and building. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to send you my pictures right now. I'm like, don't worry, they're only going ISA Body Challenge. I'm not going to post them. Like, and it excites them because I'm taking that extra step and taking care of them with how we do customer care, Jeff and I. So however, right or wrong, dysfunctional, doesn't matter. That's what we do. And we're having really good results with that because we want everybody we enroll in the ISA Body Challenge, everybody.
You know what else that does? It makes them take a picture of themselves. And when you see a picture of yourself, you go, holy crap, especially when you don't think you're looking good. It makes you really put yourself in check, and you want them to have that picture because in 1 month you're going to say, hey, do me a favor, take me another picture like you just did, please. And you're going to be able to compare it. You're going to be able to grab it, and you're going to say, send it to me. Well, no, I'm not in some. I said, do me a favor, take a picture of your face for me, just your face, and send it to me. And you can put their faces next to each other even. And they'll go, holy crud, I can't believe it. It's just another way to inspire somebody.
If I could add to that.
Yes.
I was talking to somebody the other day and a couple people in the 100-pound club. Guys, I was a big fatty. We were all talking, and what we come to find out, which is common with a lot of overweight people, is they don't have full-length mirrors in their house.
Oh, wow.
Often their pictures, they've never seen themselves because they hide in pictures. They hide in the back. If they got children and they're in their children's pictures, everybody's creeping. But every picture that they see of themselves, if they have a mirror, it's always shoulders and up, and most of the time it's just your head shot. You know, you don't really notice a whole lot. But then you get one of these people to take that picture, that profile picture, and my wife and I do the same thing. If we sign you up, it's mandatory you do the IsaBody. Granted, my wife does it. They send her the pictures, she timestamps it, she puts it in, but then I coach them.
Can you let everybody know how much you lost? Because there's some people on here new that don't know.
142 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah. And while revealing a great deal of lean muscle and without any muscle atrophy, and I did so in company record-breaking time as well.
How long?
I lost 100 pounds in 4 months, and I lost 142 pounds in 6 months, exactly to the nose. And it's not a race. I tell people that. I said, and your 10 pounds is just as hard as my 142. I mean, a pound's a pound's a pound's a pound's a pound, and everybody has to work for that. And some people, it's really, guys, people have to look at it as people are handicapped at, like, they're just like golf game. Because I'm 6'3" and I'm broad-shouldered and athletic. It might be a little bit easier for me to do so than if Debbie Beebe had to lose 50 pounds, because she's a little 5 foot nothing, and her 40 pounds is my 140. And everybody's going to do it at their own speed, has their own stories. But one thing that I can speak to almost anybody with the utmost confidence, that these products, which, I mean, my wife released 45 pounds, and we've both been able to maintain it. I hate the word maintain, because we're all going to keep creating the best version of ourselves. I don't believe in maintenance. I believe in performance. But being able to do that and maintain it and be examples of every other solution in this company, healthy aging, I mean, performance, to be able to share these products and this lifestyle unapologetically, and nobody can tell me I'm a fool. And if you ain't listening and you don't understand, you're the fool.
Right.
Yeah.
I just wanted you guys to meet Opie that haven't. I talk to him all the time. I talk to him today on the phone. So we get to communicate as friends all the time, and we keep each other accountable and push each other.
I really want to say something, because to anybody listening in that doesn't know us and know our humor and everything, you know, because Opie, you called yourself a fatty, right? But it's like, it really is, it's a big deal, because we're saving people's lives. Whoever introduced you to Isagenix saved your life. Like, whoever introduced Alvy Shepherd to Isagenix, Jen Lee, saved your life. You know what I mean? So we might just, and it is, the pictures are there because it reminds people that, oh my gosh, I've got some stuff going on when they look at themselves. It's not because we're trying to shame them, body shame them, because Kayla and I talk about body shaming a lot. It's not that we're trying to body shame them. We want people to wake up and realize that if they've got that excess weight on them, then they are unhealthful, and we can help them with their health and maybe give them extra years on their life. So we do kind of jest around, but I would never want anybody to think that we're taking the picture so we stick it in their face and body shame them. It's just they come to realization when they look at those pictures. I do every IsaBody challenge. I'm like, oh, I kind of cheated too much, and that cheating might be 5 or 10 pounds on me, but 5 or 10 pounds, like Opie said, is just a big deal on my 5'2" frame as 100 pounds on somebody that's a lot taller than me. It's the same thing. That 5 to 10 pounds is also just as dangerous, especially when you yo-yo. It's hard on your body, and we've got a nurse right here that's shaking her head. Yes, and it is. So I want everybody to know, if you don't know us, it's our heart to help people, never to body shame. And, you know, sometimes we jest and somebody might take that, and I'm just having a sensitive heart day. So I just wanted to make sure I shared that. And yes, Chris, I see your hand to going, my friend. You just jump right in, cut me off, just talk. I'm just really
I'm just itching to say this. I spent half the day today touching on what Opie just said and about Albie changing their lives. But I spent half the day at a cancer center today. Stepmother has cancer, so I took her up there. And I've never been to one. And we don't cure, we don't prevent, we don't do all that stuff. But obviously, if maybe they would have had this product, there wouldn't be 3 floors full of cancer patients. I'm talking about there was 80 to 90 people on the first floor. I don't know about the second. I don't know about the third, but I saw heads everywhere. And it was full of people going to get treatments. And you could see the regret in their eyes. You could see that some of them were worried about how long they had to live. You could also see some people were just totally pumped up that they were there, and they were probably mean 2 years ago, you know, but they're so full of gratitude now because they're even walking. So that just kind of gives me another push to really go out there and, like Opie said, unapologetically share this program. So go to a cancer treatment place. It'll motivate you to get busy, I'm telling you.
Yeah, thank you. It hurts your heart seeing people sitting in the chair getting their chemo treatment. And we have a good friend that's going through that right now. And it's hard to walk into a place like that and feel the energy in there and the heartbreak.
And again, we don't treat or diagnose anything, but to hear our friend Rico that we've known forever, to hear his feedback on the product, he says, Jeff, he goes, and Debbie, there's not words that can even say how I feel, the difference I feel when I put these products in my body, the shakes. And they even put a feeding tube in him. And he mixed the shakes up and real thin and so many syringes, little things. And he put them in there. And he says, Jeff, he goes, it doesn't matter what shakes you send me because I can't taste them. So just send me whatever you want. And he goes, but it's night and day. So that shows you how good our nutrition is, you know, and the doctor.
Chemo. He's feeling good through the chemo. So we're not saying it's, you know, curing.
We don't treat or diagnose anything.
It's keeping him feeling good, and his doctors are actually amazed. So it helps him feel good. He can keep it down. He's not acting like they thought he would act on all of his chemo treatments. So that's the beauty of it, is that we're giving him that comfort and that energy to feel good. So, and
they took out some of his jaw. We're not going to go into detail. They took out some of his jaw, so he couldn't eat. He had to have it, you know, and they wanted to give him crap. And it was just it's so cool to see how good he feels.
We have a great nutrition system, guys, unapologetically.
Okay.
Hi, Bruce.
Hi, I have a question. I want to follow up on something that would help me. And I mean, Opie, that was just a fantastic testimony. I mean, that's powerful stuff you raised. And Debbie, you mentioned that, you know, the idea we don't want to shame anyone. So there are people like in my community that I think could really use this. They're heavier. And the challenge I have is looking for a way to raise that and offer help to people without shaming them, without, you know, making them uncomfortable. Can you speak to that?
Jeff and I are very different on this, and probably everybody on here is. For me personally, what I have always found is when somebody is looking for a solution, like weight release, it will come up in a conversation, any conversation, talking about diet, health, needing to lose weight, I don't feel good, I'm tired, I need more energy. Always, even if I'm brand new meeting somebody, always comes up in a conversation. And if it doesn't, then I kind of try to like focus. So I'll kind of be intentional, and I will, like I always say, standing in the Starbucks line, somebody orders something, I'm like, ooh, that sounds good. They always say, well, I really shouldn't, but today's my cheat day. Or I really should, but I don't, you know, and I can say back to them, oh, you know what, once in a while is okay. I am on the best nutritional system out there, so I get to cheat once in a while, and, you know, gotta live life. And inevitably they're going to come back with, really, what is it? And I just get their phone number and say, I'll send you some information, and or I'll friend them right there on Facebook. It's really easy. So if you're having that conversation, you don't really know somebody and they are heavy, or if you know them, then I kind of feel it's your moral obligation to have that conversation with them if you know them, and say, you know, here's what I found, and tell a story or relate it. And yeah, maybe kick gloves, but I know Jeff is polar opposite of what I just said.
Yeah.
Polar opposite.
You know, I feel a responsibility. I see someone that's morbidly obese. I almost feel a responsibility if I don't walk up to that person. Shame on me, because I'm thinking about myself, not them. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about, what are they going to think about me? What are they going to think about me? I'm too worried about me instead of them. And
So what do you say to them?
when I sit and have a friend like Opie, and I'm going to let Opie address this real quick, and how he would address, because when you can physically say, I lost 140 pounds, you can walk up and punch him in the face, I feel, and say, hey, you dude, you need to listen to me real quick. I got something to help you. And so for me, I do walk up to somebody like that in a grocery store. I don't care where I'm at. I've walked up to them where I've seen them stop, and they're sweating standing there. They're sweating. And so I've walked up to them and just said, hey, real quick. And I don't do it in front of people. And I just say, hey, I just wanted to share something with you. This is straight from my heart. I've lost quite a bit of weight. And I said, and this might be a solution. If you even want it, we have over a 450 pound club. Can I give you my number? I don't try to sell them, pitch them, or nothing, because I'm really concerned about them. And I say, you know what? If you ever need my help, I said, I do well with the company. I'll make sure you're taken care of. And I want to introduce you a few of my friends that have lost the amount of weight that you need to lose. And I've had people look at me. I've had a dude tell me to get the F out of his face. And this is powerful right here. This is a great story. Big dude, black guy standing there. And I went in and approached him, sweating, standing there, sitting down. He sat down and he looked at me. He just blasted me back. And I just stood back and I said, hey, dude, I told you I'm saying this from my heart. I said, and I laid my number on the table. I said, you can crunch that thing up and throw it away if you want, or you can put it in your pocket when I walk away. And if you ever need me, I'm here. I'll talk to you soon. I go to that store every day. 8 months later, I'm walking in that store and I hear this dude yell at me. And I'm thinking, what? And I look down and here's this same guy. And I'm thinking, holy crap. What's going to happen right now? And he comes waddling down the thing, hurting. And he goes, dude, I threw your number away. And he goes, I've been hoping to see you here. What do you got? And so that shows you, you know what? You just got to get on it. What would you say, Opie? Or do you?
Oh, do I? Oh, do I? Yeah, I'm learning a lot from you. But I honestly, whether you're overweight or not, I mean, people are always giving you tells. People are everywhere you are, just like you're at a poker table, people are giving you tells. If you're watching and you're listening and you're observant of people, like I said, 10 pounds to 100 pounds. If I'm in line at our grocery store and the person next to me is talking to their wife that they can't sleep at night, or they're on a sleep apnea machine, or they're overweight, or I listen, right? And I'm listening. And I just wait for my in. And I'll just lean over and be, look, I wasn't eavesdropping. I just couldn't help but overhear what y'all were talking about. And I really think we were destined to meet. I really think that I could possibly, if you're open to a discussion, I'll show them my picture, BB's picture, Alvy's picture, whoever I think relates to their solution that I can provide for them.
Mm-hmm.
I have them all in my phone. And then, of course, you talk to them, you just look them in the eye and don't make it weird, right? And I'm weird. I'm going to be weird to some of these people. And you know what? Bless and release. Walk away with your proteins and your fish and your salads. And I'm going to walk away happy, but at least I have a conscience that I tried. Am I trying to also build a team? Of course. But my ultimate goal was to help this person. And I'll be in the health food aisle and you see somebody that looked like me and I see them struggling with, they're struggling, they're sweating, they can't even make it down the aisle. They're using the basket to hold them up. And they're in the health food aisle. I might even approach them and be like, why are you in the health food aisle? What are your goals? And da-da-da-da-da. You know what? They swing at me, I duck, and I just keep running with my cart and I go on down and I check out. Okay? I mean, and offer them one of my pretty cool business cards and try and get them to friend me on Facebook, at least follow me and make that connection. And as soon as I'm in the parking lot, I'm messaging them, at least saying hi so that I can catch them in my message thread, or else they're going to get lost in the sauce until I can put them in my organization because I'm at work. I work full-time, guys. I work 10 to 12-hour days and do this stuff. So, I mean, I'm busy, but I do this all day. This is.
What are you? You're a 2-star? What are you? Executive? 1-star, 2-star?
2-star.
2-star executive.
Yep.
And you spoke his language. He plays poker and he counts cards almost. He's a professional poker player. I knew you lit him up for a second.
Yeah, Bruce was.
You find a lot of people. You find a lot of people around a poker table that need isogenics in their body.
Most definitely. Yeah. But I just share unapologetically, but I got to be in the mood, guys. If you would approach somebody, you've got to have that energy. You got to bring the energy because that's what you're selling. You're selling the energy and you're the unweirdness. You want to make sure that you're turned on because if you bring to them half the energy, they don't want to even talk to you. You've got to come from a real place and they got to feel it and see it. And you got to just offer them a solution, and we all have a solution. And if we don't have their solution personally, somebody on this call does that will be happy to do a 3-way call with you. You need a 3-way call with any big overweight person or a performance person or anything of such. You can always message me.
His famous thing is, hey, you can sit on the fence and get splinters in your ass or you can get off. That's what he said.
Sitting on the fence will only give you splinters. Money back guaranteed. You got nothing to lose. Do you trust me? Do you trust me? It's all about them trusting us, right? And
awesome. Is that helpful, Bruce?
That's super helpful. Thank you.
Alvy, did you want to add anything in?
No, I think he covered it.
many words. So good to see you on here, Alvy. I love that little boy smile. I just love it.
And I just want to say to you guys, each and every one of you, I want to see you at these events, not events. I mean, I want to see you at every event. But we're all going to the Grand Cayman. A bunch of us on the team are going. There are 150 of us. And if this is possible for each and every one of you, the contests that are up now aren't for Debbie and I and aren't for a lot of us because they're for all the beginning stages. And we want you guys to hit each and every one of them. And if you guys have not got your ticket for our Build 'em Big Super Saturday, November 9th, please go in and get them because if not, it will sell out. And we want you guys there. And if you're in any area that you can drive, fly, or whatever, get to this event. And it's here in LA. We're going to have a lot of fun. And it's in a beautiful place at the Odyssey. So if you want a romantic dinner or for your team afterwards, it's overlooking the whole valley.
For your team. A romantic dinner for your team. That would be great. Okay, I need to close this out because we are after the hour. And I see that Christopher Carr has a question about Isogenics business cards. Yes, you can get them through Sound Concepts, Isogenics Sound Concepts. You can order business cards and they have different designs for you to choose from. Yes, you could go make your own. And Christopher, I'm not sure who your enrolling sponsor is, but Jeff and I started Isogenic 6 years ago, the business part, with business cards, and I find that people just throw business cards in the trash. So I, for 6 years, have not had any business cards. Jeff does not have business cards. We use our phone and we say, hey, let me send you my business card. And we pull up our contact where it says in your phone, it says my card. And you say, what's your number? And then you text them your information, and then you have theirs. So there's your follow-up. So I hope that that answers, and we can talk about that another time, but I wanted to make sure that I addressed that. I don't know if anybody else on here has business cards, but I don't do it.
They're fun, but it's the easiest way. The technology now, everything is technology. So for you can say, hey, you got a business card? Literally, I say yes. What's the number you want me to send it to?
Yeah.
I pull it up right there. I say yes. When they ask me if you have a business card, yes. Or I'll say, here, let me give you my business card. I'll say, what's the number you want me to send it to?
Yep.
And they all go, blah, blah, blah. I had a person just the other day. I said, here, I said, let me give you my business card. What's the number you want to send me to send it to? I sent it to him. And right out, and I said, I did that. And then I go to the message and I click on it. I click on the top and I say, do you mind putting your information in there? He goes, I can't believe you got my number that quick. I said, hey, what's the difference between a professional and a non-professional? Like in an elevator from the 9th floor to the 1st floor. I can get it done.
All right,
let's go.
Awesome.
I'm going to unmute everybody, and let's do 1, 2, 3. All right. You should be unmuted. There you go. Take it
Here
away.
we go. 1, 2, 3. Isogenic!
Oh.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing up, guys. We'll see you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Yes, you can, Albie Shepherd. Yes, you can. Yes,
Bye.
Bye. You're so beautiful.
Love you.
More. Bye, guys.
Let me send you my business card is a great line.
Yes, it is.